Hello, crafty friends, and welcome back. Today I am playing along to celebrate Shannon Keith's 2000 subscriber hop, and she challenged us to go back and be inspired by our very first YouTube video. And, well, my first video that I posted was actually a mini album share, and it was using a simple stories collection that actually had very similar colors to this new collection that I purchased maybe not too long ago, I think. It's just come out, I think, this spring. And so, really, that was what I used as my inspiration because I didn't have any current mini albums that I hadn't done a share with. So I thought I would just create something new, a layout inspired by something similar, which the mini album was actually pictures of my friends, and we had gone to a flower farm where you could pick your own flowers and take the vase of flowers home and enjoy them. So I am actually documenting a picture of zinnias that I grew in my garden last year. And I thought it would be funny to use the title from the Miley Cyrus song, I Can Buy Myself Flowers, except I changed it to I Can Grow Myself Flowers. And so, pretty much about once a week, I would go out and cut a new vase of flowers and have those on my desk for a week while I work. Luckily, I do get to work from home, so that would just be a nice Monday afternoon break to go out and cut some new flowers and just freshen up my desk for that week to for me to enjoy. So I had gone through the embellishments and things that I had purchased, and here you can see that I had kind of laid things out and auditioning things. You will see that I do eventually change things from the original layout. The background that I did want that mint to show up in the background, and you will see I will come up with a solution on with the wings of the one mint butterfly there that is in the very background that kind of borders the two sides, the top and the left side of the layout. And so I will come up with a way to help camouflage those wings up there. And really, by the end, I don't think you really notice them too much. So there I did use my tiny attacher and attach the two different sizes of butterflies. And so I will come back to that here in a little bit. So here I am. I'm going to put that section down and getting things lined up to have a full 12 by 12 layout here. These are some of the larger pieces of ephemera. I think it was, I can't remember what they call them, the big journaling bits or something along those lines. And so I have a picture of my flowers in the vase inside, and then I have another picture of the outside garden where I am growing them. So I'm just using those journal bits as some layers underneath my photos, and then just making a little cluster here with some of those leaves and things. And so here I did bring along my folder or binder of 49 Market rub-ons, and this is actually probably one of the original sets of rub-ons that I ever purchased from the 49 Market collections. And so they have been in my stash for probably 5 years, if not more. And it worked just perfectly fine. So, and I don't even keep them in the original packaging anymore, that I actually store them in a 6x8 binder and just use the page protectors and slide those in and out. The ones that are now that they changed the format to 6x12, I still use the same organization. I just find a good place where I can cut them approximately in half without cutting the actual images. And I just cut them down and make it work with the storage that I already have. So I did on that particular floral add some craft foam there and just have a little bit of that doily sticking out. I did have a couple more of those mint colored doily rub-ons to use, and so I do end up using the other two as well. So that was good to use up everything as well. So there you can see I was trying to see if I wanted to put that journaling bit there at the top to cover those wings. Ultimately, I do not put that there. These were another super old set of thickers that I had in my stash, and I'm glad to get more of those letters used. I know I purchased them when my daughter was young. She is now 20, and so I think this was actually what was her name? Lizzie something with American Crafts that it was with one of her collections. So they've been around for a while, and as I said before, that this title was inspired by the Miley Cyrus song of "I can buy myself flowers, except I can grow myself flowers." So got my long title on here, and I do use my leftover sticker sheets to stick my letters on, so then you see me bringing them back and forth on to test for spacing, and so I know that that's where the W works before I stick it down really good. And as you can see, that I did end up needing to move it up a little bit further. Use my T-square ruler to make sure I get the rest of the title and letters on straight. And then we will move on to, I believe, more of the rub-ons there. So now that I have that one rub-on, that you can say I have a pile there once that I did pull out thinking I might use them, but I do end up using these three or the other two doily here. And so I do decide to put just one of those doilies over the top of the butterfly, and it does kind of camouflage those wings a little bit. You can still see it, but to me it's okay. It doesn't bother me. I do put some pop dots behind each of those leaves just to give a little bit of dimension. And now I'm going to cut off the last of those doily pieces, and I do put it here on the side, kind of to make my visual triangle as well with each of those mint doilies. And again, I said that these were several years old, and however, I had zero issues of getting them to work. So then I had a couple of these little bits and pieces that were close to the doilies, and so it wasn't attached to the big sheet of the leftover rub-ons anymore. So I just decided to go ahead and use them and put them on the layout here by the other rub-ons that I already had on there. So I just didn't want them to get lost or get stuck on something, and while they don't really add a lot of interest or anything, that they got used, and that works for me. So let's see, and so then I had a couple little hearts that I'm adding on there, and then we are going to move on to the journaling bit. And I did end up switching out from I switched my title where it was going to go because I needed more room for that. And then this piece originally was going to go underneath the happiness chipboard. But really, by the time I got everything layered, that you were really only going to see a tiny bit of that purple. So I did end up deciding to just use that rub-on in that space instead. And when you see the close-up pictures, you'll notice that I do not have the journaling completed yet, because this was the first layout I was working on at that retreat. And I had forgotten my journal pins, and I just hadn't taken the time to ask any of the others if I could borrow one, and I thought, I'd just do it at home. Well, when I started borrowing the pen, that I didn't go back and add my journaling here, so I will get that added here shortly. Here are the close-up shots of my layout. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave those for me down below. And otherwise, thank you for stopping by to watch, and we will see you next time. Bye.